A Lancaster soldier is welcomed home for the last time. The final candidate to head the LGBT Center at Ohio University says he's ready to listen. And in sports, Ohio's baseball and softball teams are dominating on the diamond. Don't miss the highlights from all the action. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
The body of an Ohio soldier who was killed in combat in Afghanistan is being welcomed home one last time. A military plane carrying Army Specialist Joseph Collette arrived in Columbus this morning before traveling to his hometown of Lancaster. People lined the streets in Lancaster as the motorcade came through. Visitation will be tomorrow at Faith Memorial Church, and the funeral service will be held Friday morning. The village of Bookdale is changing where they get their water. Bookdale is currently part of the Athens County Water and Sewer District, but wants to join the regional water and sewer district Nelsonville is creating. The Athens County Commissioners voted yesterday to have Commission President Lenny Eliason to negotiate terms of the transfer with Nelsonville officials. The Ohio House and Senate have reached a compromise on a gas tax increase. Lawmakers have approved a proposal to increase the tax by 10.5 cents. The increase means Ohioans would pay a state tax rate of just more than 38 cents per gallon. The new tax rate would start July 1st, but the plan requires Governor Mike DeWine's signature. The money from the tax will go towards maintaining roads and bridges. The way Ohio delivers electoral votes in presidential elections is changing. An amendment certified Monday says Ohio's electoral college votes would go to the candidate who wins the most votes nationally, rather than the most votes within Ohio. Nationally, there has been a movement to defy the electoral college system and honor the popular vote in presidential elections.
Hello, I am forecaster Adelaide Carwish, and right now it is beautiful outside. Right now in Athens, 63 degrees, and it's beautiful right now. I just walking out to classes today, it was unbelievable. Humidity at 24%. The winds are out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's just a beautiful sunny day. All around southeastern Ohio, Columbus at 62. Everywhere is just beautiful. This was a beautiful day. Ironton at 66, Jackson at 64. Let's take a look tonight. 38 degrees, my bad. Cloudy and cool. Winds from the northwest to 15 miles per hour. So it will be a little bit windy and definitely a little bit cooler. And let's take a look at the headlines. Just a little preview of the headlines. Warm and cool nights, rain coming Friday, and a clear Saturday with storms Sunday. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Adelaide. The third and final candidate for the position of Ohio University's LGBT Center Director is in Athens today, speaking with students, faculty, and community members about what they can bring to the center. Matthew Hall is an Ohio University alum. He received his Master's of Education in 2015 after an undergrad of Political Science and History from Oxford's Miami University in 2011. Currently, Hall works at OU's University College as an adjunct academic advisor, as well as an instructor for the university's Mastering the University Experience course. He is also OU's Assistant Director of Health Promotion at the Campus Involvement Center. In Hall's open forum discussion this morning, he touched on a number of ideas and issues facing the LGBT community. Hall says as director, he would aim to hear from students involved and uninvolved in the center.
Got to where we are on this campus because of the contributions of people who've come before us, and there's no way we could or should negate that. Thinking forward, though, I think we need to start with listening, right? What do students feel, both the students who were previously engaged in the LGBT Center's work and the students who were not?
Hall is the final director candidate to visit the university. The fourth candidate, Corey Frederick, was set to visit tomorrow, but has since accepted a position elsewhere. A West Virginia woman could be facing charges after telling police she may have misinterpreted the intentions of a man she believed to be abducting her 5-year-old daughter. Barboursville police said the woman pulled a gun on 54-year-old Mohammed Zayan. Zayan was then taken into custody on an attempted abduction charge. Now police say he may have simply been patting the girl on her head. A prosecutor will now have to decide whether or not to charge the mother. Republican lawmakers are saying the Affordable Care Act, known as Obamacare, isn't going anywhere for now. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he made it clear to President Trump that the Senate would not be voting on a new health care law. McConnell encouraged the president to take the issue on the road during the 2020 elections.
So I made it clear to him we were not going to be doing that in the Senate. He did say, as he later tweeted, he accepted that, and that he would be developing a plan that he would take to the American people during the 2020 campaign.
West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin says health care was a...
In West Virginia, you'd have people say, I don't want to be a burden to my family. They used to say that, Jacob, when they say, I don't want to be a burden to my family. I know they can't afford, if I get sick again because I can't afford to buy the insurance, or they will not insure me, then I'll let my hands and my life is in the hands of the good Lord.
Until a vote on another proposal, the legal challenges against Obamacare will continue to make their way through the federal court system. A West Virginia Republican committee has approved a resolution of no confidence in Governor Jim Justice. The Kanawha County Republican Executive Committee says Justice has shown a lack of support of GOP principles. Justice was elected as a Democrat, then switched parties in 2017. The committee says Justice has not led as a Republican on two of the biggest issues facing the state, education and transportation. A Kentucky judge has ruled against a student who sued after he wasn't allowed to play basketball because he wasn't vaccinated for chickenpox. 18-year-old Jerome Kunkel claimed the vaccine is against his religious beliefs and that he faced discrimination. The Northern Kentucky Health Department says it must protect the entire community. President Trump is threatening to close the southern border. What this could mean for businesses across the country and 6 million U.S. jobs that rely on trade with Mexico.
Today, you did more than make history. You created a movement for change.
Plus, Chicago residents elect a new mayor and make history. Those stories and more when Newswatch returns. Stay with us.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
President Trump now says it is up to lawmakers to find a solution to the immigration crisis so the southern border can remain open. President Trump has been threatening to close the border because of an increase in illegal crossings. But as CNN's Ed Lavandera reports, people living near the border are concerned about the threats.
Border residents have heard the repeated threats for weeks, and they're trying to figure out if President Trump is just flirting with disaster or serious about closing the border.
We got to stop the crime. We got to close up the borders.
I'm telling you right now, we will close the damn border.
The ports of entry and border crossings are a lifeline between the tightly integrated communities where Mexico and the United States blend together. There are 24 ports of entry that dot the southern border from Brownsville, Texas to Southern California. And beyond that, there are dozens of border crossings where a steady stream of people cross bridges and customs checkpoints daily. Sylvester Reyes spent nearly 30 years working as a Border Patrol agent. He was also a Democratic congressman from El Paso. He describes the idea of shutting down the border as lunacy.
I scratch my head and wonder how much longer they're going to get away with it, because it can't be good. Now, for the President of the United States to be threatening or even just talking about shutting down the border is nuts.
The port between Tijuana, Mexico and California is massive and sprawling, where people can wait for hours to drive across. Laredo, Texas is the largest inland port along the border, with special bridges designed to accommodate nearly 4.6 million trucks every year, carrying everything from car parts, food, clothing, and electronics. And there are even tiny crossings like this in far west Texas, where you can take a rowboat across the Rio Grande to the other side. All of this would theoretically grind to a halt.
Across the United States, between 5 and 6 million American jobs directly rely on trade with Mexico.
Everything from Fortune 500 companies to the mom and pop shops that are part of the colorful border landscape would feel the pain, says John Barella. He's the CEO of a group called Borderplex Alliance that advocates for hundreds of Mexican and American businesses that rely on international trade. And the pain won't be restricted to border towns.
It would impact the entire country. Uncertainty is the enemy of job growth and investment, and closing the border creates an air of uncertainty. Even the threat of closing the border creates that air of uncertainty.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says closing the border would have a catastrophic economic impact. A top White House advisor indicated the administration may still try to keep goods moving if the border is closed, but the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is skeptical that it's possible to do that. The Mueller report is one step closer to being potentially released. The House Judiciary Committee officially approved a subpoena to obtain the full unredacted report from Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Today's vote means House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler can issue a subpoena at any time, but he says he will not use it immediately. Attorney General William Barr says he is working with Mueller to release a redacted version publicly this month. Chicago now has a new mayor. Lori Lightfoot defeated Toni Preckwinkle yesterday, making history. She is the first black woman and first openly gay person to be elected Chicago mayor. She pledged to make Chicago a place where your zip code doesn't determine your destiny and to address the city's violence and build trust within the community.
We can and we will build trust between our people and our brave police officers so that the communities and police trust each other, not fear each other.
She will join 7 other black women currently serving as mayors in major U.S. cities, including Atlanta and New Orleans, and will be the second woman to lead Chicago. A new treatment for peanut allergies uses peanuts. Exposing people to what they are allergic to might actually work. That story is still ahead.
And weather today, it's going to be beautiful with some rain coming on Friday. That's next on Newswatch. Now here's your stats of local interest.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell its story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
Hello and welcome back to Newswatch. Let's just take a look at the headlines today. Warm days with cool nights. Rain will be coming on Friday and a clear Saturday with maybe some storms on Sunday. Right now in Athens, Ohio, 63 degrees, beautiful outside. Humidity only at 24%, so it's a beautiful day. Go for a walk, go outside. It's beautiful. Winds to the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's take a look at southeastern Ohio. Columbus at 62, New Lexington at 58, Athens at 63. So all around, pretty warm outside. For tonight, 38 degrees, cloudy and cool. It'll be a little bit windy though, with winds to the northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, all around southeastern Ohio, Columbus at 41, Chillicothe at 40, Jackson at 39. So mostly in the upper 30s to lower 40s all around the area. Let's take a look at the precip tonight. You can see the rain starting to come in. You can see the clouds actually starting to come in here. We'll have a little bit more look there. See that low pressure coming in. You see that high pressure that's keeping it. Tomorrow, 66 degrees. More clouds will move in. Warm with rain pretty late in the day and even towards the night. Winds in the east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So it'd be a pretty warm day. Don't worry about too much rain though. And southeastern Ohio tomorrow, you see Ripley at 72 degrees, Athens at 66. But you get a little bit towards north and it's actually a little bit cooler. Columbus at 59, New Lexington at 61. So if you get a little bit more north, it is a little bit cooler compared to down south in this area. Tomorrow night, 47 degrees, rain showers late, chance of rain 60%. 47 not bad, but there will be rain pretty late in the night. Wind east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, you're going to see that rain. This is around 8 p.m. predicted. Tomorrow night, you're going to see that rain come down. That's going to come through the Athens area in southeastern Ohio. Friday, 62 degrees, rain in the morning, chance of rain 80%. It should clear up towards the afternoon, but there will still be some spots of rain. Winds to the south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Take a look at Friday morning here just to see that rain just come through the area. Definitely going to be rainy on a Friday morning. 7-day outlook here. We'll just take a look here. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday looks pretty good. 76 degrees on Sunday. It is unbelievable, but once Monday hits and the rest of the week starts, it's going to be rain and even storms on Monday. I'll send it back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Adelaide. The Food and Drug Administration says it's investigating reports of people suffering seizures after using e-cigarettes. The FDA issued a public notice today saying it's identified more than 30 cases of seizures after vaping since 2010. The administration says seizures are a known possible side effect of nicotine poisoning, but emphasized that it has not determined a definitive link between seizures and vaping. The agency notes there are no clear patterns to the seizures. According to Food Allergy Research and Education, a food allergy reaction sends someone to the emergency room every 3 minutes. This is especially serious for people and children who have peanut allergies, because even an accidental exposure can be life-threatening. But good news, a new treatment is being tested. Jeremy Roth has the details in today's Health Minute.
A peanut powder-filled capsule could be the key to treating peanut allergies. Gradually exposing people with allergies to allergens could reduce their risk of a severe reaction. Researchers across 10 countries studied 551 participants with peanut allergies between ages 4 and 55. Most, 496, were between ages 4 and 17. 3/4 of the participants received increasing doses of the experimental treatment. The rest received a placebo. Side effects pushed 11% of the participants to drop out of the study. After a year, each remaining participant took an exit challenge, eating the equivalent of 2 peanuts under a doctor's supervision. 2/3 of child participants tolerated the challenge without a severe reaction. Half of those actually tolerated twice as much, a 4-peanut dose. 10% of children receiving treatment required an EpiPen during the exit challenge, as did 53% of the placebo group. Experts warn this isn't a cure for allergies. Patients receiving treatment shouldn't expect to be able to eat whatever they want. But researchers believe increasing tolerance for peanuts can reduce the risk of a severe reaction. For today's Health Minute, I'm Jeremy Roth.
All right, time for some sports. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nick Orsini. The Ohio men's baseball team is playing red hot with a big victory over Morehead State last night. Plus, the Ohio softball team is also lighting up the scoreboard. The recap from their doubleheader last night and more when Newswatch returns. But first, stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Welcome back. I'm Nick Orsini. The Bats continued to produce runs as the Ohio baseball team took down Morehead State 12-3 at Bob Wren yesterday. The Bobcats were led by 4 Bobcats who had 2 RBIs each: Trevor Lucas, Trevor Hafner, Traben Funderburg, and Cole Revels. Ohio has scored 12 runs in 3 straight games. Ohio jumped on the board in the second inning with 4 runs.
Freshman Joe Rock improved to 2-3 after a quality start, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed with 2 strikeouts. The Bobcats are back in action this weekend. They travel to Northern Illinois with first pitch set on Friday at 4 p.m. Led by senior Alex Day, the Ohio softball team returned to action against foe Kent State yesterday, splitting a doubleheader with the Flashes. Ohio fell in Game 1 2-1 before the Bobcats erupted down in Kent State 10-2 in 5 innings. Day went 3 for 3 with 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. And in Game 2, while Alex Holland went 2 for 3 with an RBI. Overall, Ohio scored 10 runs on 7 hits and did not commit a single error, while Kent State scored 2 runs on 6 hits and did not commit an error themselves. Ohio returns to action this weekend, traveling north to Central Michigan, and first pitch is set for Friday at 3 p.m. The Ohio men's golf team finished in a tie for 5th place with Valparaiso, with a team score of 580 or 20 over par in the Butler Spring Invitational. On Monday, the Bobcats combined to shoot 295 in the first round. IUP won the Invitational with a total team score of 561. Sophomore Zach Crawford led the way for the Bobcats, tying for 13th with a 143. He shot rounds of 72 and 71. Ohio will complete their final event of the regular season on April 14th and 15th when they head to Springboro, Ohio for the Wright State Invitational. So there's only 3 games left in the NHL season. Columbus clinged to a playoff spot, but last night did no help to the Blue Jackets. The Boston Bruins came to Nationwide and left with a 6-2 victory over the Jackets in a game that was not even close. What makes the results of yesterday's contest even worse? The 2 teams who are behind Columbus won. So now the Blue Jackets are clinging to that last wild card spot with only 2 games remaining. Those games are against the New York Rangers on Friday and the Ottawa Senators on Saturday. Another race to the finish for the Blue Jackets. Losers of their last 6 games, including one of the worst teams in the league, the Phoenix Suns. The Cleveland Cavaliers are ready for the regular season to end. Tomorrow night they face off against the Sacramento Kings. The 19-59 Cavaliers own the 3rd worst record in the NBA behind the Suns and the Knicks. The good news for the Cavs fans is they will probably get one of the best picks in the NBA draft in June. Tip-off for that game is set for 10 p.m. tomorrow. Well, Ben, it's a bad time to be a Cavs fan, but a good time to be a sports fan. Playoffs are rolling around and the weather's getting warmer.
Yeah, I mean, I can't lie. It's been very hard to watch the Cavs at this point. But March Madness coming up, Final Four this weekend. I'm very excited to see that.
Me too.
Thank you, Nick. A school district in Indiana is taking steps to make sure kids have enough to eat. A new program designed by a South Bend nonprofit group takes food that was made but never served every day. I stepped over. No, you're good. But on the weekends at home, they may be without food. The program will give 20 students a backpack with 8 individual frozen meals every Friday.
Something's wrong.
Really just all came together, and it's making a big impact, so I'm really proud of that. It was heartbreaking to hear that children go home on the weekends and they don't have anything to eat.
The district says that they hope to expand the food program to other schools.
And let's take a look at tomorrow for Athens, Ohio. 66 degrees with more clouds moving in. Warm with rain late. Winds to the east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So a pretty warm day, but there will be some clouds moving in. Let's 7-day outlook here. 66 on Thursday, 62 on Friday with that rain coming in, but the weekend looks beautiful. You should go outside. It's Mom's Weekend here at Ohio University. Definitely go outside with your mom. 69 degrees on Saturday with some sun, with some midst and clouds. Sunday, 76. Ben, I'll send it back to you.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Ben Schwartz, and remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org.